Okay, so one of the new possible segments that we have incorporated today is coming from our Discord server. So
Okay.
one of the benefits of being a member of the Popcorn Culture Patreon is that you have access to our Discord server where we have like a special category just for popcorn
Just for little kernels.
just for a little kernel conversation.
Yeah.
And so if you would like to suggest a topic for the pop, you can do so in that channel. And today we have a topic that's been suggested by one Agent Krakow that says, do you think Black Friday will ever disappear?
Okay. This is it. So actually, as this episode comes out, it is Black Friday, right?
Today, the day that this episode will go live is in fact Black
Is in
Friday.
fact Black Friday. Okay. I just wanted to clear that up because as far as my email has been concerned, it has been Black Friday for like 3 weeks now.
Yes. And it's funny because I do think Black Friday has had this progression, which is like, it used to be the case that everybody really, really, really wanted to get out. Like, you know, you have your Thanksgiving dinner meal, and then you would go out and like wait at midnight to have like the doorbuster sale. And it was sort of like the day after Thanksgiving is like when the holiday season is in full effect.
Right.
And so it was kind of like, let's have all the biggest sales that day so that like people go to Thanksgiving and then they hit the ground running the next day with holiday prep, and they can and we'll have a bunch of people come in. And so it was originally like the midnight opening so that you started exactly on Black Friday. And then it seemed like they were kind of like, now open at 10 p.m., you know,
On Thursday.
right. Yeah. And then it was
Yeah.
like, it kind of like moved.
It's like it's had the same effect as like the midnight premieres for movies.
yes.
You know
it
what I mean? Like
absolutely has.
once upon a time, you had to go to the movies and be there at midnight so that you could
Right.
see it at 12:01. So like to me, I always loved that gimmick of like the midnight premiere. It was like, yeah, it comes out on Friday, so the moment it's Friday, you can see it.
Right.
Right now, 12 o'clock. But then they're like, you can tell what happened there is that people didn't like coming out at midnight. They're like, well, what if we also just do a 10 p.m. showing? Because then more people it's more approachable to more people.
Right.
And they're like, well, now it's just properly on Thursday, so we'll just have it come out at like regular times on Thursday night. And it's like, so now, even though all of the advertising says it comes out on Friday, most movies come out a
On
day
Thursday.
before.
Yeah.
Which is, there's no midnight showing to it anymore. It just comes out the day before.
Right.
Whatever. It's this like weird rule you have to know about movie dates, that whatever it says the day it's coming out is, it's actually the day before, which is bananas to me. I think even this week, there's a movie supposed to be coming out, Encanto, supposed to be coming out on Thursday. They have backed it all the way into Tuesday.
Yeah. It's
It's
true.
like, so we've probably seen it by now.
We probably have, but as of recording, we haven't.
Yeah.
But so the kind of interesting thing about this is exactly what you're saying. So it's like it became such a phenomenon, and they like pushed it back and pushed it back and pushed it back. But it also feels like as time has gone on, it's just sort of like lost all of its like luster.
It's exactly what's happened.
And I think the other thing too is that maybe there's been this like products have just been made more affordable in some capacity. So like I remember as a kid, you know, we had like our 27-inch TV screen, and it was sort of like if you wanted to like get to Black Friday and be there at midnight, then they had like 10 TVs that were like the super big screens, and you could buy it for like $200.
Right.
And it was sort of like it was one of these things where it's like if you were willing to go that extra mile, then basically the store was willing to say we're okay with like losing money in order to like.
Well, because
have-
here's the thing, is that like they might price, 10 TVs at a really good price.
Right.
Right. And you, the customer, don't know that it's only 10 TVs. You get the little flyer in the mail that says, 60-inch TV, $200, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Right. Gotta have
Gots
it.
to be there.
Yeah.
Got to make sure they're definitely going to sell out. But you don't know. You don't know if they've got stocked 1 or 10 or 100.
Right.
So you got to be there right when it opens. And like the store strategy is like, yeah, whatever. We'll sell 10 things at a bit of a deficit if it brings in 300 people physically into the store
Who just buy other things.
Because the point, yeah, right. The point isn't to sell those TVs. The point is to get more people just physically into the store.
Right.
Like no one's walking into the store on Black Friday and leaving completely empty-handed.
Right.
You know, every person through the door is walking away with a purchase, and that's what the business actually cares about. And so that like, and it's like, oh, it's a great strategy at first. Except because, yeah, you get this big line of, 200 people outside. But then you realize, like, well, if we open earlier, then even more people will come.
Right.
And it's like, because they don't care about, like, the hard, like, yeah, they're not trying to be like, we'll reward people who work hard for it. Who they want to reward is themselves with your money.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's the thing, too. And it's because, like I think about our little strip mall here in Roanoke, which has, like, a Best Buy and then, like, a Target and, like, a PetSmart or something. But,
Whatever.
But the point, and then there's like a Walmart on the opposite end of that. So like within one, square,
the whole mall.
Yeah, there is many different places you could go. And the thing is that like, if Target is going to open at 10 and they also sell electronics, then Best Buy 2 doors down basically has to be like, we have to open up at 10 too because we want to sell you those electronics. And it's sort of like this. It's like the maybe glory of competition in the marketplace starting to become a little bit of like a problem is that exact thing. Because like if one person goes, then pretty much everybody has to go. And then if one person goes a little bit more, then everybody has to go a little bit more.
Yeah.
And eventually what's basically happened is that the magic has basically been, sucked out of the event entirely.
Right.
And the other thing I was going to say is that for the most part, you can pretty much just buy a TV for $200 year round at this point. And, with shipping being the way that it is nowadays, you can also have it within 2 days.
Well, this is, I think, part of actually what's been the problem this year in particular is that it's not just like rolling back from Black Friday, like into the evening of Thanksgiving. I think my guess is that because of COVID slowing down lots of shipping times, that's part of why they're backing up the Black Friday deals like several weeks.
It's true.
Like,
yeah.
Order if you want us to be able to even service these sales, we're gonna need the shipping time, and it's just not there from Thanksgiving to Christmas Day, or whenever you need to wrap the presents by.
Exactly.
So do it here. And that's totally understandable if you need to back it up for this. The question is, will it ever slide back forward? Or has like COVID allowed Black Friday an inch and it has taken a mile that it will not give back?
So here's the thing. One of the very interesting things that I've heard once upon a time is that in New York City, like where all like the really big, like highbrow law firms are, they all pay their associates which is your first like hire out of college or whatever, like your first job in a law firm, they all pay the exact same amount. So like they basically like they're all massively competing with each other for business because they're all like the New York City law firms.
Right.
But like what they've said is like, if we all say that we won't offer, $1,000 more a year as like a competitive, because what's going to happen is it's going to cost all of us money to be like, if this firm offers, I'm going to arbitrarily choose numbers. I have no idea if this is right, but if we're going to pay 50,000 and this other one's like, well, if you're going to pay 50, we'll pay 60. And it's like, now we'll get all the best recruits because we did that.
Right.
And it's like, and if you are the best recruit, then of course you're going to go to the place that has maybe, I don't know. I mean, there are other factors, but still most likely they're going to feed into the one willing to pay the most. And so if that person goes 60, this other company might say, well, if you're doing 60, we can do 70, and it's like, and it's like, all that's going to happen is it's just going to ramp up like wildfire.
Yeah.
Like year after year after year, that's just going to keep going up. So I almost feel like what really would need to happen for it to ever find its way back to that like original kind of magic would be for everybody in the market to be like, let's agree. Black Friday starts at midnight on Friday
after Thanksgiving.
Right. And I think that would be the only way to really to bring it back. But that being said, there's probably also a question of, do we want to bring it back? Like, is this even like a good thing?
Oh, well, that's like, it's such a weird thing because it used to be like you needed to be in person in the store to do it anyway.
Right.
Whereas now so many it was weird because you had like Black Friday where you wanted to go to the stores in person, And then there was like Cyber Monday, and that was like the online shopping day.
Right.
But now so many things are just bought online instead of in person anyway, that like Black Friday deals happen online anyway.
It's true.
So it's like, why? And if what you're, it's not as big a deal either, because the problem with Black Friday, it seemed like for a while, was that there was like people getting hurt because of the crowds.
Yeah, like the rush. But I also feel like there's this like you're very caught up in the moment. So in the same way that like toilet paper sort of became like extraordinarily scarce at the beginning of, all of the pandemic related stuff, it was sort of like toilet paper really had almost nothing at all to do with anything to do with the virus. So it's like, that's not like an associated symptom, but all of a sudden there was this frenzy. And so it was like, if you saw it, you were like, well, maybe I'm going to buy 2 packs instead of like my normal 1 pack.
Right.
Because, it's like, because there is less. And so then it feeds on itself until like literally the entire aisle is just empty at every store everywhere.
Right.
And I think I remember one specific year where like the entire idea of Black Friday just like switched in my head. And it was like, I was going into Walmart, I think on the Wednesday, to pick up just something for Thanksgiving dinner. So like I was walking through and they were preparing the store for the next day.
Right.
Or I guess whatever the day was. I was one day before Black Friday. So they had all these pallets that were all like shrink wrapped so that you couldn't just go and like pick up any of the stuff. But the sales signs were all there. And I remember going past this like huge row of pallets. I mean, it was probably, I don't know, like 3 or 4 in a row, stacked 5 feet high of toasters. And the sign on it said, Black & Decker toaster, $5. And it was like one of these things where I was like, wow, it's like so inexpensive for a toaster. And then it was also like, but you don't need, like, a toaster is not something you need many of. Like, it's not like, yes, maybe it is an inexpensive way to purchase a toaster, but like, how many people are coming in and just being like, a toaster, $5? Like, that is a great deal. And it's like, yes, it is a great deal, but nobody needs it. Like, the demand for toasters is so low, like, and it, I don't know. For whatever reason, these toasters, this one year, it was the thing where I was like, I see what happens. People are buying it because it's like, because they can't believe how inexpensive it is.
Right.
And it's like, and there's something about it. And because there's such a flurry, it's like $5, I can do it. Throw one in the cart.
Right.
And it's like, then who you giving that toaster to? And who is getting a toaster that's like, yes,
toaster,
this is what I wanted. But you know what?
I mean, it's possible you're just buying it for yourself. And maybe that toaster is an upgrade from the toaster you had in college, and now you got it for $5.
Well, that's true, but I mean, my guess is that the $5 toaster is probably not the most advanced toasting technology on the market.
I have to agree with you. It's probably not the best toaster you could get.
Right.
But you're right. Like, they're just like, they're probably not losing money on the $5 toaster, but they are making a little bit of money on it.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know. So it's just interesting to me because I think. Especially what's so great, and as someone who likes to give gifts, I think maybe that's also part of where it like feels like it's like tainting the water or something like that. But it's like, I like the thoughtfulness that goes into like, I got this person this thing because it like fulfilled a need that I knew they had, or it like reminded me of them, or it, I don't know, like, it was something I knew they would never get themselves, but I could get it for them or something. Like there's all these different like feelings and emotions that I get. And definitely as I've gotten older, I absolutely transitioned at some point in time from, instead of looking for the boxes for me, like I did as a kid, like how many do I still have left under the tree or whatever. I always look for my own wrapping paper, where I'm like, how many do I like? Oh, like Jay still hasn't opened the one for me yet.
Oh, right.
Like, like
how many more of my own presents do I get to see unwrapped?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And so I think a huge portion of that is again, going back to these toasters and being like, there's just no way. Like there's just, I mean, I'm not going to say there's no group of people out there who don't just need a toaster. And it's not just a great opportunity to snag one at a great deal, but it's also like, is that even like a thoughtful gift, or are you just putting stuff in a cart because it's inexpensive, because you can purchase it, because you can like
I mean, that's like the whole power of just like microtransactions. Like for you, it's only $5, but if 200 people buy a $5 toaster, then Walmart just made $1,000, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I see where it works for Walmart. I mean, I'm not questioning Walmart's strategy. I'm questioning the de-evolution of the gift giving process due to the frenzy. Is really where I'm coming from.
Right.
I'm not concerned that Walmart's not making money. I'm 100% sure they are.
Yeah.
Definitely not looking out for them. But yeah. So anyway, that was the great toaster incident of 2014.
I don't think it will. To answer the original question, will it ever disappear? I don't think so. No.
Yeah, I don't think it will either. I think that Q4 will always be a very, 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 very powerful year for a very powerful time of year for retail. Sales.
Absolutely.
Because I also just can't imagine the holiday season as we know it changing.
It's also just sort of like, it's one of those weird things where like a lot of businesses will make 80% of the sales for their whole year, like in the final 2 months.
Yes.
You know, like because of this exact like thing.
Yep.
And that, you know, might be the thing that's holding them up for the majority of the rest of the year.
Right.
You know. So.
Yeah, and I think that's like why they call it Black Friday to begin with, is because it gets most businesses back into the black.
Right.
So for the most part, it means that you're operating in the red for the whole year, and being able to become a profitable company happens literally in that final stretch.
Right.
And that's just a huge part of how our
like economy stands.
Yeah, like how it works.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting. I will say that me personally, I tend to use Black Friday to purchase a lot of gifts, mostly because it's like historically it's just the day like where we're not doing Thanksgiving. We're also off of work, and they're usually, especially now, are online sales. So I would usually sit down and have like my lists and everything that I figured out, and still try to take advantage of the fact that there are good deals happening on this day. But I am not allowing the deals to dictate the purchases. I'm just trying to take advantage of the fact that they are there.
Pick out all the stuff ahead of time, see if there's deals on those things on this day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's usually how I approach it.
Yeah.
You have